Morning, Christy here. Can't believe it's been 2 years since we let go of our SRS distribution life when the sale was made to Home Depot. And we've started to build our own small businesses from home, from RAK Ranch in the interim. And also in the interim, we volunteered, spent our first year full-time working through the nonprofit and serving the community how and when we could together, while Aaron was just kind of transitioning and letting go of what his life was, and same thing of me adjusting and the girls adjusting to a new life of the four of us particularly working together. Our two older children are obviously off living their own life, doing their thing, mostly outside of us. But adjusting to where Aaron and I and the girls are figuring out our new normal and life at RAK Ranch. My mom still lives here, and actually my sister is living here again for a little while, and we have changed the animals here at this point. We've kind of put most of them on hold. We're kind of just construction is going on everywhere to upgrade things that we have operated here to where if they come back or when they come back, that they'll be able to run a lot smoother, and we know what we want to do longer term. So in 2024, in the first year of Aaron coming home, we had bought a duplex off this property and formed RAK Lane Properties business, and that is what owns the duplex in town here. We also had bought this container, or the business bought that container last year, so it's the second property, I guess you could say, that RAK Lane Properties owns. We don't have any long-term goals for this container or the two other ones that we have purchased, but those are still personal. They were acquired when our barn collapsed through an ice storm. So they are our personal property still at this point, but RAK Lane Properties may purchase it depending on where we go moving forward. But at this point, they are storage for still mostly business, but it's not really operating, and it's just mostly storage right now. We still have range work that we're working on doing. We have this whole area is supposed to turn into more of an orchard. Wish I had planted trees sooner. The ducks are still here, and we still have a lot of upgrades that we want to do for the outdoor oasis area. And right now, most of the operations, like building stuff, is happening between, that's where the tools are for, is in the trail house shed and in the garage. It's not ideal building space, and that's where also the containers are coming in handy for storing like the wood and the materials that we're going to need to build things. Smaller building projects are coming up on board for Aaron and I to start working on. I mean, mostly him working on them, and I just get to stain them or hold a board. In between the bigger construction stuff that he's building here and like here on the property. Not really helping build things at other people's places at this time, but we are helping manage projects. So property and project management is a lot of work that is happening through RAK Lane Properties, as well as owning the duplex and this container. It's more like short-term projects that are going on. Now, Aaron's Outdoor Creations, as we refer to it, is a lot of like the mechanic and building projects that he does And they, again, will also start, at least a lot of it will start and operate through RAK Properties. And it will own, obviously, the property that he makes. So if he buys a lawnmower, fixes it up, or in that container back there, there is some broken down dryers, washers, things like that that have been tucked away back there for someday for him to be able to work on. Or if someone else comes along and can work on it, they can have it and fix it. So at least we have some storage space for some of those projects, whether we get to it or not get to it in time. It's there for somebody otherwise, or until we find its new home. Trying to keep it from being recycled, but if worst case scenario, some things will just get recycled. So it's been a wild 2 years adjusting to a new way, but we're starting to find a rhythm, and clear goals are coming into place now as well. And it's now come down to mostly timing. There's a bunch of things that we have done around here, from homesteading to party events and various projects that we have done short term, some long term. I mean, obviously I'm a homeschool mom, and so some things were long term with Katrina, were short term with the girls, and vice versa. We've had a lot of animal projects here that turned into, well, I wanted to continue farming and homesteading beyond what they were interested in doing. So we're taking a season though, because they are still in school and my priority still needs to be them. So we're kind of pausing some of those wants of mine of actually wanting to garden and have a duck farm and maybe even have rabbits, and would love to have a pony to be able to do pony walks and stuff like that. But again, so many hours in the day, only so many hours in the day, so have to prioritize. Come on, babies. I love raising the ducks. They're so loud. They're so messy. But they are so fun. I just love to watch them run around and make a mess everywhere. Hey, babies. The big field here is still where the ponies used to live. This is still the potential future spot for our retirement home, mine and Aaron's retirement home, which again, in the main house, the very end of the house is very similar to what we're wanting to build for our private part of the build here. If Kira decides to stay, or if someone moves on to be caretakers here, they'll be able to have private residency in the hospitality house like we have. A lot of options. And so we do plan on putting up a tree line here, because there's a fence line next to the container. That's where we want to put a tree line there, in case the property behind us is actually sold to somebody else. And so the whole structures of the barn for the ducks and the rabbits are kind of just at a standstill, and we plan on having outdoor homestead area here. And excuse me, the ducks are yelling at me. They want to be fed. But yeah, so an overhang is supposed to go here, so we can for the homestead area for gardening and the harvesting time and more work. So I look forward to people visiting and enjoying the property with us again. They're super happy. And thank you for following along, and I'll keep doing some more updates along the way.